What rank had you achieved by that time?
A major.
Major at that time.
Yeah.
And so you're a major, Pibroch Society. What I understand that you became president of the Pibroch Society at one point.
At one point, yes.
Yes. Was how much later was that?
That was in the early 80s.
Okay, right. But you were still active, of course, say all the 50s, 60s, 70s in the Pibroch Society.
Yes. Well, I was.
Could you explain to the people watching this what the Pibroch Society does, why it is in nature a society, etc.? Just a brief paragraph, if you like.
This book
Yes.
is my Bible.
The
whole story of the Pibroch Society is in here.
Yes, okay.
And the
And
ramifications.
the name of the book is?
The Highland Pipe and Scottish Society, 1750 to 1950. It's by Dr. Willie Donaldson, a very good writer. It should be an authority. All his statements are verified, the sources are given, it's beautifully put together, beautifully written. The music is, there are examples of music from all the old books. And it adds up to a case against the way the Pibroch Society has gone. Yes, but they had a false start, and then it fell into the hand of a certain clique who took it over and and edited all the books. Came out. They were all lawyers.
Yeah.
And you could know how lawyers like to have things quite clear by precedent. They decided the line they wanted to follow.
Okay.
And they have done so. And their line is now followed
religiously.
Religiously
Yeah.
is the word.
Yes.
I'm not one of the disciples.
Okay.
But it's gone down a certain way.
What way should it have gone,
Well,
in your view?
I was taught 75 years ago,
Ah,
and I was taught by a couple of the great men, Robert Reid and Willie Ross. And I was taught a certain way. I was taught in a certain approach, which wasn't the same as
the Pibroch Society.
the Pibroch Society.
Okay.
Now, if you take the movement known as Hiharin, I was taught to play it like this. The A as a minimum, and the E as a cadence note, not counting against the time. I'm just looking for a tune that'll make my point, but as usual I haven't got my reading glasses. Yes, here we are, the Battle of the Parser Creek.
Right.
There, that's how it starts.
Right.
Now this volume was edited by John Peter Grant of Rothiemachus, the sheriff of piping folklore, and that's the way I was taught to play the movement.
Okay.
When this came up, there was a great outcry about the way this was written, but this was the way it was played, and that's the way I was taught to play it by Robert Reid
It's a short E cadence.
A short E cadence. Now when the great man who followed Rocky Marcus as editor, he took it. I'll have to look at this. I thought I got this all organised, but I don't think I have.
Anyway, did they change it and make the E longer?
He made the E
like quaver or something,
and the A crotchet. E crotchet, A crotchet. So instead of taking the time from the A, he gave the E and the A equal value, and that is the way that has become the modern way of playing. That's the modern way. That is the only way you'll hear it played on the competition platform. The result is that the way of playing pibroch has been changed.
Okay.
The way that the Pibroch Society says it should be played, but I don't. That's on the bottom hand.
Yeah.
If you look at the variations, they all start with the A.
Yes.
There's no authority in tradition for playing it the way the Pibroch Society write it. With a tune like Mary MacLeod, Robert Reid went straight to from the E, a short E, long A.
Yes.
And a different tune in time.
And Archie Campbell, from quite near where I come from, Kilberry.
Yes.
He was one who was very, very important, and also
You tell me, Sheriff
Rothy Marcus.
Yeah.
These
That's
two.
Grant, wasn't it?
Grant, aye. Anyway, these two really did an awful lot to get the Pibroch Society, and so they really were tremendous, because without having it done, it would have been difficult.
Do you feel that the emphasis over the years changed the way the Pibroch Society viewed how the tunes should be played?
I don't think so. I think there's always good players and there's always odd ones.
And explain again the difference between your book and the Pibroch Society.
Well, the Pibroch Society book, if you were just taking it up and playing it exactly as it's there, it would be hopeless.
In what respect?
Well, because the tune wouldn't come out. They use sometimes things that look like grace notes, which we think are just up, and they can be quite long.
Yeah.
And it's full of that kind of thing. Remember that the composers, lots of them never wrote anything. It was written down by someone later on, like Angus Mackay, who Seamus correctly describes as a real genius. He, wrote down all the tunes that were extant at the time, and he, in fact, has written them very well, better than the Pibroch Society. If you look at the Kilberry book, they will have a silly wee E grace note, then a low A, and instinctively you think, well, that wee E grace note is a small E, so D, and draw.
So we're talking about the length of cadences, really?
Well, not just cadences, even the simple starting everything. And
so you should actually revise.
Yes, we should revise them so that another musician can come and say, oh, well, I can see how.
We ran up to see Bob Brown, had a chat with him, and then he suggested that I should really go to Dr. Mackay of Lagan and get some pibroch grounding from him.
Okay.
He did probably 8 or 9 tunes with me over 2 years. And then said, you can go back to Bob Brown now.
Aye. Was it the Pibroch Society or the Kilberry?
Pibroch Society, really.
Pibroch Society, yes.
Kilberry was there as well. Aye. It was just a guide. Yeah, I was just teaching, just back from teaching in Germany, and obviously play other instruments, because they were saying, when I was teaching them the pibroch, I said, but that's not what's written there. I know that's not what's written.